Hello, Junk Journal January fans. Karen Bierce here, and I've pulled out some product. I was a bit stuck. I've been thinking about bubbles since yesterday and really hadn't come up with anything. And I thought, I know I've got to have some bubble stamps. So I just went to my stamps and I grabbed my Carabelle stash of stamps, Carabelle Studios, and look what I found. A bird clearly balanced on what I'm going to call a bubble. And I love that it has the word Hoop Ring Journal. So I just love that stamp. And I thought that would be a great way to start. I did pull out a couple more just because I think I'm going to stamp these and then have them for future pages, but like a hand. Okay, hello. And how cute. I don't know if you can still get these. Carabelle closed their doors, sadly, a while back, and I'm not sure if there's still companies that are carrying them or still have stock, but I'm going to use from my stash. Now, here's another thing. Let's say you go, oh my gosh, I really wish I had that. I can't believe I don't. Well, you know what? Chances are good you can get a hold of a butterfly or a bird stamp if you don't have one. And a circle, you could make that on your own. Just put a, look at that, washi tape down, draw a sketchy circle, and then just stamp random stamps in the background first, and then put your bird on. So there you go. So even if you can't buy this particular stamp and you really like the image, think of other ways to recreate what you see and like, especially mainly the studio's gone, right? So you can't get it. So, I think it's fine to duplicate it if you can't get it. So here you go. That's my tip for today. And it's just good inspiration anyway. So I did have this. This is my quandary. I had this and I really like this here. I like the idea of having that as a flip for this page. I like the idea that it draws you into the next page. I just love that tag. It's very simple. Probably needs to have some stamping, but I just really wanted that there. And then so it just doesn't work, right? Like I don't want the bird standing on. I want this to be here. Although it's true, I guess I could have the bird. I want it here, but wait. So then my other option would be to put it here. And I kind of like that as well because it looks like the bird's looking at the balloon and, again, mixed media. And then the next prompt is tissue and that would go there. I don't know. Let me think about it. All right. I know this is a bit crazy, but I think I'm going to do this. Here's the reason why. The bird's tail will stick out here, which is not bothered by the flip. If I do it here, then his tail is going to be bent into this page, yada, yada. And there's ways around that, but I actually realized I don't mind that. And then the key is going to be stamping, trying to get the stamp on both. So I think what I'll do is I'll stamp it like that first. Ooh, and it's going to go this way. I forgot. Silly me. And then, let's see. Oh, see, now I'm not sure I like that. Because that means the birdie tail will hang out. Nope, I don't like that. I don't. Shoot. Oh, with this change of plan. That's how much overlap there is. So I could extend this a bit. So I've grabbed a piece of, this is 49th and Market Crafty Garden in the 6x8. And I've just cut a 2-inch strip. And then what I'm going to decide if I want it like that or like this. I wish that wasn't torn because that would be cool. Probably going to go like that. Doesn't really make any difference on this side. The color goes, well, I was looking for a double paper that would work. Double-sided paper that would work. I decided to change it up a bit and just go with one piece of paper that would fit and cover that part of the flap. realizing it'll be a lot easier to stamp on that. Plus, I really like the background of this paper with some of the splatters and whatnot. So I just remeasured it and cut a piece of paper to fit. Go like this, and this could go like that. All right, and then Birdie Birdsong can go here. That works. I have the issues in my studio. I keep calling it a studio, hoping that one day it will rise to the occasion and become one, because it's really just a big mess. And I'm just, let me turn, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? There. No ring, but it's gonna be a bit less great on the lighting. But just for a second. That's an idea, isn't it? All right. Oh, once again, I keep on forgetting that the bird doesn't go this way. Oy, oy. Math. It's a math problem, right? All right, that still works, though, doesn't it? Goal is to keep the tail inbound. All right, something like that. We're just going to go for it. So I hope you're having a good day today. So this is the Tim Holtz platform. It's no longer available, or they're not making it in the US anymore. I think you can still find them if you search hard, but there's a lot of other cool ones. If you have this one, it has a rubber side and a clear side, so you have to put on the rubber side. Although this stamp, it's a little bit heftier than the others. The only thing, there's other ones though. Sizzix has a great one. If you, yeah, if you have a, you know, there's a Sizzix one in it. It comes with, it can do the layering stencils and things like that. It's very cool. So hop on over to Sizzix and look at the one they have. If I were to get another one, that's the one I would choose, because it really does have a multiple functions. All right. The thing I love about these platforms is, stand up, sorry, try not to shake the camera too much. Close your eyes for a second. If you miss a spot, or mess up, you know, like here I didn't get as much, you can go back in and restamp it. If you want the bubble to be more pronounced. I'm a bit worried that it's because this stamp doesn't seem to fit. Again, it's a little chunkier than the... There we go. See how nice that looks? Oh, I love it. What a great stamp. Okay, so now I'm going to do this, and this is what makes this great. I'm going to do this on white. I'm going to use Distress Watercolor cardstock for this. It's made by Ranger. Love Ranger. And there's a smooth side and a rough side, and I'm going to do it on the smooth side. And I will, now I haven't got a lot of experience. I know this says you can do it perfect for watercolors, so let's see how that goes. I usually use archival, but my archival needs to be re-inked. So I'm just gonna go with this today. Yep, that's, you know what, I like him. Well, no, I want to color him. Oh, I was gonna do it in a lighter color, wasn't I? So I can do the watercolor. What I want to do is turn him into a bluebird. Because, oh, wait a minute. What if I used... bluebird colors. Oh, yeah. So I put some, sorry, I'm trying to open this a little bit to the side so it's not, I'm trying not to crinkle as much. I put some birdseed out, yes, for Momo, the kitten. So she has something to look at. And I've ended up with so many bluebirds out the window. So I think what I'm going to do is, this stamp has been used so much. It's amazing. I'm going to do black and blue. I've grabbed the hand stamp and a couple of colors. I have, this is new. This is Arctic. Here's the bluebird. I'm going to pop him in the picture to see if I can get a color that's similar. And yes, I'm being fussy pants, but I like the idea. Oh my goodness, that's quite close. That's probably going to be the closest I can already tell of the colors that I have. It doesn't have to be exact. It's actually interesting because they're depending on the bird, I find the blues are very different colors. So this is cornflower blue. This is an archival. No, that's more of a sort of a gray. Now, technically, when you use an archival color, you do want to clean your stamp off with archival, and you just put some archival on there, and then it really does a great job. And then I like to give my stamp a little splish of water afterwards, so you know I'm not stamping on that chemical. So, and then another one is, I think this is going to be too turquoisey. Whoa, yeah. But the good news is, and of course I'm not stamping the whole finger, so it's kind of wasting this great cardstock, which is just normal cardstock. Oh, the finger's not, it's me. There we go. Ooh, look at that. I almost did it perfectly. So interesting. It really, this little guy really is in between these two colors. So of course my brain goes, ooh, what if we did, this isn't going to be a light one of those. It's not going to be exact. I just want to see if I mix the colors. Sorry, I keep that twanging sound is the springs on my camera mount. All right, this could be crazy. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's still a little bright. But I think in between those two would be great. But I think that's good enough for my little bluebird. It's very close. I'm not sure what happened here. I turned the camera on at the inopportune time, so I'm just going to talk you through it. I basically stamped the bird in the Arctic and the black combined, forgetting that I hadn't planned to cut the bird out anyway. So I have cut the little birdie out. I actually recut him. I tried to get clever. I'll show you what I did for the process. I'm not a card maker, and I know card makers are really good at layering stamped images and coloring stamped images, and you know, I'm more mixed media, but I did try to do this. So I had cut the pieces, and I thought, oh, I know, I'll cut the bird, like him separately. I'll just cut out this part. And then I thought, oh, but if I cut out the beak, because the beak is black, and I started to do that, and then I was like, well, that just looks silly. That's not going to look. And I realized probably what I should have done, you know, is whatever I should have done. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to color in the parts that need to be black. Haha. So I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's the way I'm doing it. So here's my little birdie, and then I've got some colors for his chest, and I'm going to do a test: wild honey, spice marmalade, and rusty hinge. And luckily I have a lot of extra cardstock going on, and then I just have a little piece of plastic to try again. I'm just trying to cut the glare from using from the ring. So this is wild honey. Put wild honey first. I'm thinking it's going to be Rusty Hinge, if I have to guess. Rusty Hinge is going to be the right one. So that's wild honey. It's a little more yellow. And I did bring a spiced marmalade just in case, but it's because also, you know, if I don't get the color I want, I can mix them. Oh, that was probably too much water. Just wanted to do a little spritz. Yeah, wild honey is almost, Rusty Hinge is almost perfect. So I don't need the spice marmalade. So I'm just going to use a little less water on that. Rusty Hinge is one of my all-time favorite colors. So I'm going to keep this out just to make sure I don't do too dark. Isn't that pretty how it goes that way? And I guess I could maybe add some spice marmalade on. Again, I am not a watercolor, you know, artist by any means. I am mixed media, and I do some of the things. So, of course, you know what's going to end up happening. I can already see. I'm going to do this and go, no, I like the black guy better. If it's not dark enough, you just do another layer. Still quite too late. Quite too late. Again, so relaxing. Started watching some of the other videos. See, the problem with this, it just, as much as I like, well, you know what? I'll finish. Let me finish. I'll do, the belly's quite good. I'm going to let that dry and then do another layer. So I've got my bird here. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of really like that after all this. So here we go. I learned a few lessons on this one, which is good. I mean, that's part of why we're doing this, right? They don't, again, I talked about, they don't all have to be perfect. And part of it is learning, and part of it is what works and, you know, all that good stuff. So this is what I've learned. I do really want to take the black pen to here. Didn't take this into consideration when I started painting this, but this is cardstock. This is not the same surface as this. And look at the difference. It's very drastic, the difference, because this sucks up the watercolor. Whereas this, the point of watercolor paper is it lets your paint sort of sit on top so you can blend and move. And so you can see where it really just reacted completely differently. What else is interesting is in this one, same brand of ink, it didn't, you know, it didn't move at all. And in this one, it did sort of a little bit because it's darker here. This was the same color. This was the Rusty Hinge, but I realized it was picking up a little bit of the black here, whereas on this one, it didn't at all. So that's kind of an interesting, just a note. So I have to decide which one. I tried using a V-ball to color this in, but in the end, it just didn't look anywhere near as good as that stamped image, so I went with that. Here we are. The birdie. All right, I've lost my tag. So one of the things I have to say, this declutter thing, I've been talking about it. I forget what, Declutter Organized 2025. One thing it's really doing for me, I am cleaning off my desk. I put my products in a put-away box. I've said this, but if you haven't seen my videos, I have a put-away box. I pick them up when I'm finished. I put them in the put-away box. If I don't have time to put them away that minute, the first thing is kind of like become a rule. The first thing, I have to put them away. And it's really making a difference on the state of my desk, because I come in and my desk is clean. And that, honestly, first time in my life, first time in my life that's ever happened. So it's also carrying over to other parts of the house. And I'm like, wow, why did I not know this? You know, obviously, you know, some of it, but this is, I think when we're our creative space, it's very easy for us to, you know, you get in a frenzy and all the stuff's everywhere. But anyway, so yeah, it's really helping. So here we go. This is what I'm looking at. I do like that. And then the back side is going to be like this. Again, that's an issue for another day. So now what I have to decide, I think my next step is, I'm going to glue this down. But my next step is, do I want it like this? Big decisions here. Or do I want it like this? This or this. So part of me likes this better because I really do like those two little stars in this. Part of me likes that better. And the fact that this is supposed to be the focal point. So, and that does push that sort of, I know it's very subtle. This makes it look like this bubble's behind, and this makes it look like this is in front, and this is maybe ripples. I don't know. Bubbles don't have ripples, but I'm going to go this way. I like that. I do like that. And then what a coinky dink. I'm very tempted to put a picture of this bird, but there's no room. But maybe I could put it on the other side or something. So I'm going to go this way, right? So let's just anchor this guy down. And what I'll do is I'll just mark where I want the glue to go to there. Yeah, so these little bluebirds, they're so, especially because we still have snow, which is crazy. I don't know if this is the longest snow has been shown on the ground here. Because like, as I've said, what tends to happen is it snows, but then it warms up pretty quickly and the snow melts. We usually don't get snow sticking. You know, maybe 5 days if we're lucky, maybe. And we had snow on the ground, I want to say 2 weeks, which is just like, what is going on? Yeah. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to glue this part. I guess I could have done that down there. That would have been smart. You know, I can't have all my brain cells firing all the time. They already are busy doing other things. As soon as I did this, I was like, oh, wait, do I distress or not to distress? But I'm thinking what I might do is just edge, put a ink border. Oh, okay. It's funky, weird. I like it, though. Didn't quite get the glue all the way to the edge. So let's do that. That's importante. I don't even know if that's a word. I tend to make up my own words. My students want me to come up with a dictionary because it can be quite amusing. Sometimes they're amusing. All right, I quite like that. So here's some rub-ons from 49th and Market. And they have the yellow, but I also thought, what about the blue? And this is a new one they have. And it's winter stories, spring stories. They have the 4 seasons, and you get 2 rub-ons in each. I used this the other day, but I do like the idea, even though there are flowers, they're not really flowers though. They could be, you know what they look like? Kind of like the husks of the cone flowers. And again, I don't need to be literal. So I like the idea of adding a snowflake. That's sort of representative of what, you know, right now. And I know bluebirds come in the summer, but to be honest, this is the first time I've really seen a lot of bluebirds in my backyard. And part of it could be because I don't really pay that much attention. But part of it could be because I do have seeds on the ground. I'm very bad at keeping the bird feeders going. I also have some washi tape. Apparently I'd torn this. So I could put washi tape. That might be fun. Oh, that sort of helps blend it a bit. And then you can still see through, so that's possible. I like the idea of this up here. Maybe just 3. Yep, I like that. Just take this on. I'm getting all the glare. I do want some kind of words on here. I love 49th and Market, 49 and Market, 49th, I think it's 49th, 49th and Market. You know, I do that and then I don't actually check. 49 and Market. I've been saying 49th and Market forever. No wonder I have a hard time finding them when I'm searching. Oh, I like that a lot. I do, I like that a lot. But their rub-ons go on like butter. They're just great. They have so many great products. Oh my gosh. Great. Katie Petit has done a fantastic job with them. And I know they have new designers as well. Look how cool that is. Oh. I'm usually very stingy with my rub-ons because they aren't cheap. See, this won't show up. I'm not going to put it close because of this underneath. But I could put that on a different background. A blanket of snow, how happy we will be. I could just put those 2 quotes. Kind of like that. Although it doesn't really make me happy, but maybe the birds are happy. Different for them. I did think one of the things I could do was, I like the idea of putting this glitter gloss. This is Nouveau. So I tested it first because, again, different inks work with different products, just to make sure it wasn't going to, you know, make this bleed. This was done with the stays on. So I'm just going to come in. And it's going to be extremely subtle, right? Like you probably won't even be able to see it. But that's okay. Makes it a little glittery. I don't know. Now I really want to make that be glitter ball-like. Of how I can sort of integrate this a little bit. This is one of my thoughts. I've pulled out Typed Ledgers by Dina Wakley. This is sheet 1. And I found this one, which kind of hit me a bit, which is always a good way when you're reading through what you know, makes you feel something. Into a daybreak that's wonderfully clear, I rise. And I thought, yeah, that's kind of perfect for our little bird friend here. So we'll see. If we can put that on there. I love words. Love words. One of my goals in life is to have, you know, that I invented a word or a quote. A good one, hopefully. Not a terrible one, but a good one. I've grabbed one of my books. This is the one that goes with this kit, or this kit. From the paper, The Crafty Garden. And I've done a video on making these books. I will link that, or I'll put it at the end. Like you get to the end of the video and it'll have the next video, or you can look it up. But I usually make a clear pocket for the rub-ons if I get them. This came with a bag. And then I just put them like this. And I talk about it that... you know, who inspired me to do this and all that good stuff on the video and how to make them. We make one. It's actually part 1 and part 2. Ooh. Let's not wreck that. Okay. So what I was thinking is I'd really like a tab. I'd really like a tab here. I've decided as well, even though I have this tag, I'm feeling tab-like. And then, okay, so we have the quote. Now I'm realizing I came to this to find something more dimensional to throw on. But of course, this is more summer and garden-like, so that might not work. unless they have sort of a, I don't know, winter branch. But camera, that might be good because I was taking, you know, I took it, the photo is what inspired me to do this. Just love these. Oh, this would be fun too. I already have the quote. I already have, again, it's not winter. They don't, I wish they had come out with a winter. Love to see what they would do with winter. This is sort of maybe a film strip because, again, with the camera. But I would go for that gray one, yeah. Don't really want any quotes and summary. Tabs, this is what I want. Some tabs. But I kind of want a funky tab. So many. Doesn't it just make you happy? This makes me happy, just going through here. Just flipping through. Just does. All right, let's go with that film strip. That would be cool. Cool beans. And I think I have cameras. I have other cameras, but because this one, oh my gosh, I'd have to cut it out. How exhausting. That's a cool camera, but I know I have other cameras as well. So hang on. So I have this little deco sticker book. I'm not sure where I got it, but it has a camera. And I just thought, you know, and there's stamps to do or die cuts, but I'm trying to keep it, let's not, I don't know if you struggle with this. I struggle with, the perfect thing would be this one stamp I have. Where did it go? So I'm trying to let go of that. So this is one of the first things I found, and it only took a few minutes. So I thought I'd put that. But I think I just want the one film strip. And then, yeah, so I'm just going to snip this off here. Could have kept a couple. Well, I could still do that. Anyway, we'll see. And maybe, and then the words could go there. No, I don't want to cover that up. It's the other thing. Like, this is kind of, you know, needs something. And the only thing is, let me cut this out to make it easier. And there's a butterfly, but this will sort of, I can cut the butterfly off because butterflies in this winter, not so much. Where do they go? Okay, I do like that. It's kind of weird and quirky, and that's good. That's okay. And then the words would be here. And then the snow words would be here. I like that. That might work. So I think I'm liking that. So I'm going to add some, I haven't really put this down completely. So actually what I'm going to do, see how sticky it is. It's pretty, uh-oh. That would be bad. All right, let me see. So normally, this is pretty sticky. Normally I put a layer underneath, but this seems to be pretty sticky. So what I will do, I'll put a layer of decoupage glue on top. I think I'll do that now just because once I get the other things down. Plus, I need my glue to glue my words down. Anyway. So I just put a thin layer. just to help keep that down. I so still you know what I could do? I have some of that. I have so much glitter that I never use, like from a zillion million years ago. I might do that. I might put some glitter in that bubble. I just don't know why I keep on wanting to do that. Actually, I guess I could do this right away. Into Daybreak, that's wonderfully clear. Yep. It's going to be good. So I haven't looked today about the fires. I have a friend who lives, they're all packed up and ready to go just in case. It's so freaking scary. My heart just breaks for these guys that are, I can't imagine. Can't imagine. She has a really good attitude. She has such a good attitude. I don't know if it's because she's lived there a really long time and this happens. And so they've got a system and they're packed and ready and they're just waiting. And she's like, you know, it'll be what it is. It'll be what it will be. And I just wonder if because she's been through it so many times, that you get to the point where, I don't know, maybe you just can't freak out every time. I think I would freak out every time. I really do. It's one of my concerns is living somewhere. Like I said, I lived in California for, I want to say it was 2 years, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was. And it was like a year and a bit. My middle son was born there. And oh my gosh, just the constant, not constant, but there was so often a threat, you know, between there was an earthquake and there's a fire, and the closest a fire ever came to us was a mile away. And I don't know, that seems pretty close to me for anything violent and unpredictable. And we didn't have to do anything, but I can't imagine just living with that all the time. I don't know. Must be a great place to live. I know there's people that, you know, they end up there and they can't afford to move there. Sort of what happened to my mother. She came from New Zealand and came for a visit to Canada and came to watch her sister be married, go to her sister's wedding, and then ended up never leaving. And that was a big part of it. She said the story goes that she had to use her money to buy warmer clothes because she didn't realize Montreal would be that cold, which, you know, back in the day, you couldn't just look it up online, right? Like we can now. Okay, I think, that's covering the words. That's a bit of a challenge. Don't want to cover up journal. You know what? I could cut this. That's what I'll do. I will put this down, avoiding the hole. That's still there. Okay, that's what we'll do. So I would need to cut out little Monsieur Butterfly anyway. Just kind of make a sketchy. Keep the butterfly for something else. Hot tip, I put my sticker on the acetate piece, and now that way I can move it around without worrying about it sticking. I like it on top. I just do. So if I do that, and then this, and then another whole reinforcer. And I can always stamp to kind of blend that in. So yeah, so let me do that. Whew, that was a big decision. And maybe I'll just put a little piece of washi there. Acetate does not necessarily love being glued, so I do always like to put some staples, but we will put this down first. We, as in you and me. I hope you get a chance to play today. I know they say that a lot, but I really mean it. All right. Kind of funky weird, but that's okay. Oh, my pen. So I have a bunch of returns to do today. Not a bunch, two. I have to go to the grocery store. I've been avoiding the grocery store. And got some work to do. Just a lot. Just a lot. But this is fun. This is my fun. This is my self-care. And you know, we read more and more. Self-care is very important. Okay, ooh, I really like how that turned out. So I'm going to try staple. I have this little stapler, but it's got blue staples. Although, is that too much? That might be too much. You know what? You know what I'd like to do is maybe some star brads. I love, love, love those little star brads. I don't know. Now so on the one hand, you could say I'm overthinking this, but in reality, what's happening is I'm in the flow. I'm enjoying this. That's what's happening. So yeah, there's a difference between, you know, oh, I'm overthinking it, I'm stressed. No, this is creative zen, as you will. And now the downside to that is I'm in the mood to just avoid all the things I have to do, but I have to do them. I am going back home on Sunday just to see my mother. So that, I don't know if I'm going to be able to videotape. I don't know if I can keep this up. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I got a lot to do before I go. So for right now, I'm just going to avoid my life and play. All right. I tried a few of these Elizabeth Craft hole reinforcers, but I think I'm going to go with this one. Seems to be the best one. And then I'm just going to distress the edges and glue that down. I've found some ultrafine spring mint. Oh, look at that. Which also happens to look like snow. And I'm afraid, but I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do this in black, just because. Just because there's black here and here, it kind of ties it in. I was tempted to do it in blue too, but you know, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, because it's very, very small. And then odds are I'll end up putting a ribbon or something and covering it up anyway. So there's that. Yeah, that's cool. I just needed to sort of dull it down a notch. And I'll put that down, and then I will punch the hole again. Wait for that to dry. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm afraid, I'm just going to use decoupage glue for better or for worse. And I know it's going to be a mess because it's glitter. And glitter, someone was trying, glitter, we all know. Anyone who's messed with glitter, then your whole universe becomes glitter. and you find glitter for days. But that's okay. I used to have that quote, you know, it's not art if there's not glitter on your jeans. Don't know. I'm going to just put the lid on for now because I'm afraid. Yes, I'm afraid of glitter. I am afraid. I'm going to keep that out for a second. Okay, which way do we go? Probably that way, right? Oh yeah, I feel like I missed some up here at the top. Oh, you know what I can do? I got this. I was on the Top Flight design team, and this was a gift I got from them one time. And it's a little vacuum. It just cracks me up. Oh, I did a pretty good job. Isn't that cute? I have mushroom ones too. All right. Oh my goodness. That might be too much. I might have just wrecked the whole thing. I don't think so. All right, we'll see what happens when that dries. But oh yeah, I'm liking it. Okay, final touch, final touch. Where's those words? The snowy words. I like the idea of those snowy words up here. And then I have to decide on the tab. I could technically put, no, the snowy words are too big. Oh, and I'm gonna put a snowflake. There's one. I was looking at the snowflakes and I'm like, they're too big. Not that I don't have, you know, other options, but I really just wanted to use a rub-on. But look at that. Maybe cover up that flower a little bit. I don't know though, because that's where the quote was gonna go. So I like the quote there. That being sort of across from each other a bit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the snowflake here. Yep. And finish. These rub-ons, oh my goodness, I just love them. I just don't want to take away from our little friend up here. And I have to be mindful not to put it on, did that just smudge? No. A bunch of black, of the black stamped, because it won't show up as well. So I'm going to go a little high. Yeah. Alrighty. Now my brain is coming up with all kinds of helpful things. My creative brain is like, oh, you could get some of those gemstones and you could, okay, stop. Thank you. Great idea. But we don't really do gemstones that much. Although it would look cool. Or would it be too much? I tend to err on the side of more. Trying to be careful not to lose my little reinforcer doohickey down there. Oh no, I glued it down. Okay. All right, that's good. Yeah, you can see how you lose it a little bit here, but not terribly. So I like that. So I'm going to punch the hole. There we go. Might have to do this though. I've added a little bit to this, to my page. I've added a bunch of glossy accents, and it was kind of a very last minute spontaneous thought. I'm going to just show you. I just took a spatula. I put I globbed a bunch on, and then I just carefully with the spatula went through. The thing about glossy accents, it domes. So whatever edge you create for it, it will stay in that edge. So that's what's very cool about it. And I'm not worried. There's some bubbles here and there, but I'm not worried about that because that's the prompt. And I'm very tempted. So like I can move that along a little bit over here. Okay. And then just sort of spread that out. Like that. And then I'll flatten out. I'm very tempted. I have to lay this on so it's flat though, so otherwise it'll dry a bit wonky. But I am very tempted to add more glitter. I might sprinkle a little bit of glitter. It's hard to see because of the glare. I just wanted to give you a peek at the last finished touch, which was, yeah, look at that. How cool is that? I poured glossy accents on it, as I showed you, and I did sprinkle some more, just like that. And oh, that is so fun. I love that it's so sparkly. The sparkle is trapped, but you can see through. It's translucent, so you can see through it. And it does really do bubble now, doesn't it? So yay. Now you can go have a great day. Bye.